API 510 pressure vessel inspector course, that is most popular API course. So we'll continue this chapter 5. So in this we'll study about inspection, examination and pressure testing practices. We have already covered inspection plan, risk-based inspection. Now we will start with preparation for inspection. Okay, so in general, safety precautions are important in pressure vessel inspection and maintenance activities. So safety precautions are important everywhere wherever we are working in industry, but when we are working in pressure vessel inspection and maintenance activities, then it is more required. Safety precautions is more required because some process fluids are harmful to human health. Because some fluids which were processed in the pressure vessel are harmful for the human health. So that's why safety precautions are very important. Okay, now personal protective equipment, PPE, personal protective equipment shall be worn. So we should wear the personal protective equipment, PPE. We know it as PPE, such as jackets, safety shoes, and such other PP kits. Okay, so personal protective equipment shall be worn that that will protect the inspection personnel. Personnel means the employee or the person. Okay, that will protect the inspection personnel from specific hazard. Hazard means danger thing. Okay, that will protect the personnel from the specific hazard when required either by regulation or by the owner operator or the repair organization. So whenever inspection have to be performed in pressure vessel or pressure relieving devices, safety precautions is very important. Why it is important? Because in pressure vessel generally we use process fluids. The process fluids that we use is they are or they might be harmful to the human health. Now personal protective equipment. So personal protective equipment, such equipment which protect the person who's working in industry, that is known as a personal protective equipment. Okay, shall be worn. So whoever is the inspector who is going to do inspection for pressure vessel, they should wear PPE. Okay, why they should wear PPE? Because that will protect the inspection personnel. Because the PPE kit will protect the personnel, okay, from a specific hazard which when required either by regulation. Regulation means rules and regulation. Okay, laws, the owner operator or the repair organization. Now pressure vessel are enclosed space. Pressure vessel generally are enclosed space. It is closed by off closed from all sides. And internal activities involve exposure to all the hazards. Okay. And in internal activity, what involves? Exposure to all hazards of confined space entry. Whatever hazards are there in the confined space entry, all hazards are available in pressure vessel. Okay, so it is written pressure vessels are enclosed space. Pressure vessels are enclosed, they are not open. And internal activity, whatever activity occurs inside the pressure vessel, it involves exposure to all the hazards of confined space entry. Okay, so all the hazards that are there in the confined, they are involved in internal activities. Now, prior to entering a vessel, prior to means before entering into the vessel shall be positively isolated. Positively isolated means it should be disconnected from or not disassembled but disconnected. Isolated means disconnected from all source of liquid. From all source of liquid, whatever liquid was coming in the pressure vessel, or whatever gas was coming, whatever vapor was coming, whatever radiation was going through it, whatever electricity was passing through it. So it should be isolated from all the sources. Okay, before entering the pressure vessel, it is mandatory that the vessel should be positively isolated, positively disconnected from all the source. Sources are what? Sources are liquid, gas, vapor, radiation, electricity, etc. Now, the vessel shall be drained. Drained means whatever liquid or water is there, it should be removed properly. Purged means cleaned properly. Purged means cleaned properly. Okay, and cleaned. Ventilated means air, fresh air should come, and whatever existing air is inside the pressure vessel should go out. It should be properly ventilated, and the atmosphere inside it gas tested. Okay, before it is entered. So before entering into the pressure vessel, a vessel should be drained, it should be purged, it should be cleaned properly, it should be ventilated, and atmosphere inside it gas tested. And the atmosphere inside the pressure vessel should be tested by the gas, that normal gas is available inside the pressure vessel so that a human can survive. So it should be tested for that. Now, before entering a vessel, individual shall obtain permission. So before entering a pressure vessel, a individual means the person who's going inside the pressure vessel for inspection shall obtain permission. They should get permission from the responsible operating personnel. They should get the permission from the responsible operating personnel, from that operating personnel who is in charge of that particular pressure vessel. Okay, so they should get the permission. All safety entry procedures required by the operating site and applicable jurisdiction shall be followed. So whatever safety protocols are there for entering, okay, for entering into the pressure vessel, procedure required by the operating site and applicable jurisdiction, whatever procedures are there, okay, of the operating side of the site where that pressure vessel is working, and jurisdiction means government of that particular area, okay, government body, it should be followed. Whatever procedure is made by the operating site and the jurisdiction, that should be followed. The individual entering the vessel is responsible to assure him herself all applicable safety procedures. So the person who is entering into the vessel, he is responsible that he will assure himself or herself that all applicable safety procedures, regulations, and permits for confined space entry are being followed prior to their entry to the vessel. So the individual who is entering into the pressure vessel, he is responsible that he is following all safety procedures, regulations, and permit for confined space entry, okay, in the vessel. Now, applicable regulations, those administered by OSHA. Applicable regulation govern many aspects of vessel entry and shall be followed. So whatever applicable regulations are there, okay, that should be regulations govern many aspects of vessel entry. Whatever applicable regulations are there, it govern various aspects of vessel entry and shall be followed. Whatever aspect is there, that should be followed. In addition, the owner operator safety procedures shall be reviewed and followed. In additional to all these things, the owner operator safety procedures shall be reviewed, shall be checked, and shall be followed. Now refer to API RP 572 for more information on inspection safety. So inspection safety is like explained in detail. So if you want to study, you can refer API recommended practice 572. Now, records review. So, before performing any of the required API inspection, inspector shall familiarize themselves with the prior history of the vessel for which they are responsible. If any inspector, any API inspector is going to inspect any other pressure vessel, then he should familiarize themselves. He should become familiar with history of the pressure vessel for which they are responsible. Okay, so they should know the history. The inspector should know the history of the vessel. Then only they can do the inspection nicely and they can identify the defect in much appropriate way. Okay, in particular, they should review the vessel's prior inspection result. Okay, so the inspector should check the vessel's prior inspection result. Okay, whatever inspection results were obtained in history, that should be reviewed by the inspector prior repair, whatever prior repair were there, that should be reviewed. Current inspection plan should be reviewed, as well as any engineering evaluation and or other similar service inspection should be checked by the inspector. A general overview of the type of damage. Okay, the general overview of the type of damage and failure mode experienced by the pressure equipment is provided in API RP 571 and API 579-1 ASME FFS 1. So, what are the type of damages that we observe in API 510? What are the failure mode that we have experienced in pressure vessel? All these are mentioned, all these are given, overview is given in API recommended practice 571 and API 579-1 ASME FFS 1. So that is all for today. Tomorrow we'll start with next lecture. Okay. Till then, memorize this, memorize all old lectures. Okay. From today, we'll start the next topic. Thank you so much. Have a good day.